Hey guys, my name is Marta, welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking about 3 books that I've read recently that have both sad, angry girl and summer vibes. These are 3 books that I've read in the last 2 months. I think most of them I read in June. As they gave me pretty similar vibes, I thought it would be fun to compile them and make a video talking and briefly reviewing the 3 of them. So the first one I read between these 3 books is one that has been really popular recently on the internet, and it is Cleopatra and Frankenstein by Coco Mellors. This is a mix of romance and literary fiction in which we follow a couple's relationship, and a relationship that has something that is peculiar because of the age gap. It is a relationship that forms out of a very intense feeling that both characters feel towards each other after they first met, and it is a book that really explores the passion that develops between these 2 characters from the moment they met until their relationship starts to fade away, as well as their love. The book does not only focus on our 2 characters, Cleo and Frank, but also talks about some other people that have their own place in our main characters' lives, and it's very interesting how every character is very well crafted and how you really get to feel like you know all of them, even if they are not the person around which the story takes place. It's a book that also focuses on mental health issues. Our main character Cleo struggles with depression, and it is a subject that is touched upon multiple times during the story. Yeah, it's a book that overall I really enjoyed. I really felt for both of the characters, even though I could see how sometimes they made some decisions that I didn't really agree on. It's a book that is written in a very beautiful literary writing style that makes the book feel very different from what you expect going into a romance novel. It's a book that I personally connected to from the very beginning because of how passionate both characters felt around each other. It's a book that also made me feel some kind of interest toward romance as a genre. I am not usually someone who gravitates towards it, but after reading this one, I think I'm going to start trying some novels in that genre. It's a book that is overall pretty sad, but that I think people will really enjoy. And even though this book is not exactly set in the summer, it actually starts in winter and the story develops through the course of multiple years. It's a book that I associate with summer because of the passion of the romance that I feel really connects with what you would expect from a summer romance. A book that I recently read and one that I really recommend. Next, I want to talk about another romance story in a way, and it is Françoise Sagan's Bonjour Tristesse. This is a French modern classic and Sagan's most famous story. It's a very short piece of literature set in the south of France during a summer. It's, as you can see, as from this very brief summary of the setting, a book that has everything you would expect from a summer read, and it's a book about our main character's complicated relationship with a boy, and at the same time with her own father, who is also in a complicated relationship with 2 different women. It's a book about different types of relationships, I would say. It's a book from which you can really sense the teenage angst that our main character is suffering. It's a book that feels really overwhelming at some moments, and the hot climate setting really helps to aggravate that, and at the same time really makes that atmosphere feel very appropriate to what is going on. It's a book that is also very beautifully written, and one that has a writing style that is very atmospheric and that really captures the essence of the south of France. As I previously mentioned, I was recently living there, and the book describing the sounds and atmosphere of the area was something I could really relate to. As Cleopatra and Frankenstein, the book has to do with complicated relationships, and it's somehow like a mini telenovela in a way. I don't know, it's something that there was something about this book that I really enjoyed and that I could really relate to. And yeah, it's about the passage of time and about how you must get things while you can, I would say. It's a book that I personally see myself rereading, and one that, as the title says, has sad girl vibes. And yeah, it's a book about deception. It's a book about getting heartbroken for the first time, about getting deceived for the first time, but at the same time about wanting to grow up and feeling trapped in a place you want to get out of. In this book, the setting changes from the French Riviera to Paris at multiple times, and you can really see the difference that these two different settings have on the characters and on the relationships they build. I would really say that this book is perfect for young people and people who are starting to grow up and to get into the adult life. And yeah, I personally really enjoyed it, and I would really recommend it. I think it's going to be on my favorites of the year, and that is something that makes me very happy. And the last book with sad girl summer vibes is The Revenge of the Scapegoat by Karen Bailin. This is a recent release, and it is a book about a university professor who one day receives the letters from her father. It's a book that, as Françoise Sagan's Bonjour Tristesse, deals with family relationships. I don't think I have mentioned it, but this book also really talks about our main character's relationship with her own father, and so does this one. In fact, it's this book's main themes. This book, as the title suggests, also deals with the figure of the scapegoat, something that our main character really associates to her and to her life and to her as a person. And it's a book that is very peculiar because of its use of surreal elements. As our main character is a university professor, the book is filled with literary references, but not in a way that feels overwhelming, but in a one that it's really funny. For instance, our main character's feet are named after Flaubert's characters Bouvard and Pécuchet, and the book features crazy elements like cows, like museums where weird things happen. It's a very bizarre story that somehow has this sad, depressing overtone that is hidden within a crazy and surreal atmosphere. And that is something that makes the book be very absurd, and as someone who loves absurd things, this book was fantastic for me. In terms of its summer vibes, there is something about this setting, about the green grass where our main character lies in for a long time in the novel, that makes it feel very summery. And I don't know, it's a book that I think that with its shortness could be perfectly read during a trip, and same goes from Françoise Sagan's Bonjour Tristesse. But this one I personally really enjoyed in a way that was different from the other two. It is a book that had some lines that I could really relate to. It's a book that also deals with immobility in a way, and trying to move on not only physically but also mentally from a situation. In this case, our main character's relationship with her father. And I don't know, it's a book that I think lots of people can get different things from, because it's a book that encompasses so much within not many pages. And also it's a book that deals with things that we do not really get to read from, such as disabilities. And I don't know, it's just a unique story that I think everyone should at least try to read, even though I can see that not everyone would enjoy it because of how absurd and crazy it is. That was all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and comment down below if you read any of these 3 books and what were your thoughts on them. Feel free to recommend any other summary books with similar vibes that you have recently read, because I would be really interested in reading them. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more from me, and I hope you all is going amazing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!